It also felt like more representative of the demographic of South Africa. Different races, different religions, like you have professionals, you have working class people, you have students, kind of a mishmash where you just have to get along somehow. We thought that's important. When we developed this property, we had a corner building, which was the office, and that used to be an old shop. Read somewhere there was a dairy, it was like a house shop, and those are quite common in the older suburbs. Let's say 100 years ago, things existed more cheek by jowl, and then later modernist zoning came in where it separated all these functions out, like, you can work at work. We also had very little money. A lot of the elements that were here already, like the sash windows and shutters, the ceilings, timber from the roofs, even the bricks, we recycled. It sort of blends the old and the new, and I think that's a more healthy attitude to heritage in a sense. What's very powerful about places that have been so strictly segregated is when cultures start bleeding into each other, because it creates new identities that aren't labored with that thing of you are this. Kind of creolization of culture for us is really important, and at the same time, if you can achieve that in architecture, it becomes really interesting, where you can't quite tell what's new or old. So a central purpose for me as an architect is that I figure out how to create spaces in which people can thrive. Essentially boils down to choice. So you have a choice in how to design your own life. So the architecture is not a straitjacket, but an enabler. And then there are kind of 5 things of how we pursue that in the office. The first one is to suspend judgment. Take a step back and go, this is not bad or good architecture. We often in the design process try to create options by just going, okay, we can't solve this thing now, let's just create 11 versions of it. By the time you're on version 3, you've already found new ideas. It's embracing design as a process of discovery. Try and create moments through architecture. If you look at a fancy holiday house in Camps Bay, like, it would terrify me to be confronted with that view 24/7. It's not special anymore. But if you can create things that are fleeting, like life, so you create a moment where you step out of your bathroom and you see the view, then that's special. Point 3 is connect people. Usually we connect in the kitchen. The kitchen is the heart of the home. But also people need spaces to retreat to. I really don't find design interesting that only does one thing. Like, it's got to do more than one thing. It's got to work hard. So you can see here, these are our kids' bedrooms. You can see the sliding door between them and the little lofts. This was the only new wall we built with the stairs up. That's the main bedroom. And this was where we had the bath. It's now over here. This can also come up. And then that's just a really big living room with the scullery. When you came in, you stepped up a few steps, and that was to achieve this higher volume, which is the typical Victorian interior height of 3.2 meters. Which is actually much nicer than the 2.7. In everyday life, there's special moments. I think to wish things away without recognizing their value is highly problematic in embracing diversity, difference, and things don't quite always gel, but there's beauty in that. In a place like South Africa, everyone has very fixed ideas of how things should be. And depending on who you speak to, those ideas are quite unique to that group. In certain contexts like that, limits just create this extreme creativity in people because they have no other choice. There's this unbelievable innovation in South Africa that I think in countries maybe that are better resourced with more technology, that just gets lost completely. You become kind of stupid because of all the technology you have at your disposal and all the rules, which is insane, right? I like this idea that a building isn't really complete until people inhabit it, and then certainly they're still going to change it. You have the monuments, which are done in themselves. They're iconic structures. You don't really want to change them much. Although we could change the Voortrekker monument, paint it pink or liven it up a bit, right? Just take a thing like RDP housing or native housing, the 51/9. People have inherited that, they didn't have a choice in it, and now they're changing it. This idea of saying architecture is only complete once people start messing with it is great. And if we can think of architecture as not something timeless, or only timeless and immutable and static, but something alive, you can create architecture just through people occupying a space.